Five teenage boys, a stolen BMW the wrong way down a motorway, and an innocent family smashed head on. Five boys are now dead, but before we call this a tragedy and move on, I want to know, where were the adults? My name is Tim Davies, and on this channel we talk about standards in government, standards in society, and most importantly, standards in ourselves. And if you believe that message matters, then please subscribe. It costs nothing, it pushes these videos to more people, and it helps me make better content. And ultimately, if we can get more people talking about responsibility and standards, I genuinely believe this helps all of our communities. Right. This is a difficult one. At around 3 o'clock on Sunday morning, five teenage boys were travelling in a BMW on the M9 in County Kildare, Ireland. Gardaí are investigating whether the car was stolen, but it is now believed that it was. The boys were reportedly masked or wearing balaclavas. The car had failed to stop, and Gardaí were investigating whether the group had been involved in attempted thefts from cars and homes around Athy. Then the BMW entered the motorway, going the wrong way. Not once, according to reporting, but twice. And eventually it met a Hyundai car coming legally, but in the opposite direction. Inside that Hyundai were three sisters and a 7-year-old boy. Unlike the boys, they weren't stealing cars. They weren't running from the police. They weren't filming themselves for social media. They were simply travelling to Dublin Airport early in the morning for a family wedding in Britain. The collision was head on. All five boys in the BMW died. Two of the sisters in the other car were critically injured. The other sister and the child were seriously injured. Those four innocent people are where my sympathy lies. This wasn't just bad luck. Of course, the families of those five boys are devastated. I've seen some of the tributes online. Only a baby, whole life ahead of him. Rest easy, champ. And I understand that, of course. Those parents have lost their children. I'm not going to mock somebody's grief, but grief cannot be allowed to rewrite what has happened. Those boys weren't passengers on a bus that crashed. They appear to have been participating in an extraordinary dangerous behaviour. And innocent people have paid the price. We need to be capable of holding two thoughts simultaneously in our minds. Their deaths are tragic, and their behaviour appears to have been nothing short of appalling. Now, both can be true at the same time, but then I discovered something else. This wasn't an isolated event. Just 1 week earlier, another car containing 8 teenage boys travelled the wrong way on an M50 ramp in Dublin. The car, again, was stolen. It collided head-on with another vehicle. The innocent driver was seriously injured. 9 people ended up in hospital. And Garda Commissioner Justin Kelly has now warned about people driving stolen vehicles the wrong way down motorways to get social media attention. The Garda Representative Association says gangs of young men are effectively trying to outdo each other online. Think about what that means. Steal a car, provoke the Gardaí, drive dangerously, film it, post it, get attention, then somebody else has to go that little bit further. This is a status game. That is a status system. And it's a catastrophically broken one. So where were the adults then? And this is where I become a little bit angry. These were teenagers, as young as 14. So where were the bloody adults, mate? Where were the fathers? Where were the mothers? Where were the older brothers? Where were the community leaders and the older men? Where were these older men saying, no, mate, you don't steal somebody's car. You don't break into somebody's house. You don't terrorise innocent motorists. And there's absolutely nothing impressive about driving the wrong way down a motorway. You see, young men need standards, and standards have to come from somewhere. I know something about young men because I spent much of my adult life training young men. Eventually, I was responsible for instructors training young men and women to fly fast jets. It's on the wall behind me, mate. And here's something that I learned back then. Young men will compete. They will test boundaries and they will, of course, take risks. They want status. They want the approval of their peers. None of that is new. The question, though, is what earns status? Now, in my world, being good at your job earns status. Being reliable earns status. Having courage earns status. Looking after your mates, all that kind of stuff. But taking responsibility, there's one. When you screwed up, going and telling the boss that you've made a mistake, that earned you a lot of respect. But imagine you're 16 years old and your status comes from stealing fast cars and getting chased by the police and then posting it online and getting thousands of views from your mates thinking you're some kind of hero in your balaclava. Then we've created a completely different hierarchy, and sooner or later, somebody gets killed. This weekend, those 5 boys did. And an innocent family could have been killed with them, and they might still be. Now, the police know this is happening, and here's what makes this even more infuriating, because this didn't just start last weekend. More than a year ago, RTE investigated a network of teenage car thieves and joyriders known as the Lucky Dip Gang. Now, car thefts in Ireland had reached a 12-year high. Young offenders were stealing cars, filming themselves driving recklessly, and then putting it online. The warning signs were already there, and Gardaí themselves operate under severely restrictive rules governing when a pursuit can actually continue. Now they faced a list of 10 distinct requirements they must evaluate spontaneously before they even consider engaging in the pursuit of a stolen vehicle. Now, some of this is completely understandable, of course. A police pursuit can kill innocent people. I know this because my father was a traffic officer for 37 years in the police force. But we've created a potentially dangerous incentive here. The more dangerous you drive, the harder you become to pursue. And if teenage criminals understand that, of course, remember their prefrontal cortex hasn't fully developed yet because they're just kids, well, they steal the car, don't they? And they run from the Gardaí. And it escalates. Make the pursuit too dangerous, they think, and they hope the police will have to back off. That's not a criticism of the individual Garda on the road, of course, not at all. It's the criticism of the system that we've put them in, because standards matter in policing and they matter in government as well. You cannot demand that police protect the public, then construct a system in which officers are frightened, unable, or insufficiently trained to intervene when criminals deliberately escalate the danger. And now we're discovering what happens when that behavior becomes a game. Eventually, innocent people meet them coming the other way. So yes, we need to examine that pursuit policy. Of course we do. We need consequences. We need policing capable of dealing with this behavior. But police encounter these boys at the end of the process. And what I'm interested in is what happened at the beginning. So who raised these boys? At what point does a boy learning that stealing someone else's property is acceptable? At what point does risking another family's life become just entertainment for them? And when does criminality become something you film because you're proud of it? But here's most importantly, right? Who was supposed to tell them otherwise? Who was supposed to tell them anything else? Because we become very comfortable outsourcing responsibility. Something goes wrong, the government must fix it. Or the police must fix it. Or schools must fix it. Social services must fix it. No. I don't agree with that at all. There's a point before all of those institutions should be getting involved, and that's called the family, or that's called the community, and it's called adults. And if you're an older man, that includes you and it includes me. This applies to every community, and I don't care what community we're talking about here. Yes, these boys, they could have been travellers, settled. They could be Irish nationals, British. They could be Muslims. Christian men like myself and like you as well. They could be black guys, they could be white guys, they could be rich. And yeah, sure, they could be poor as well. The standard does not change for any of those. You don't steal, you don't hurt innocent people, you don't terrorize your neighbors, you don't gain status by behaving like an absolute criminal running around in balaclavas. And if members of your own community are doing those things, defending the reputation of your community cannot be your first priority, like we're seeing, unfortunately, with some of the posts online. Stopping the next group of boys doing it should be. Every community has good people. Every community has bad people. We all know that, right? But healthy communities do something important. They enforce standards internally. They make respectable behavior prestigious and disgraceful behavior disgraceful. Let's look at the real victims. And that's what I want to finish by returning to the other car then. These three sisters and a 7-year-old boy going to an airport, going to a wedding. All right, it's crazy. Doing absolutely nothing wrong at all. Got up early. Car's already packed probably from the night before. Now imagine seeing headlights coming towards you on a motorway and realizing they're in your lane. I mean, it's going to happen so quickly. Those are the people whose lives may have been changed forever. That could have been your wife, your daughter, your son, your brother. It could even have been you. Now, we should remember the 5 boys who died, of course, but we must also not allow the people who caused a disaster to completely overshadow the innocent people caught in it, because compassion without responsibility isn't compassion, is it? It's sentimentality. So what do we do now? Now, if you're a dad, be present. I'm sure you are. If you're an uncle like me, be useful. I like to think I am. And if you're a teacher, then set the standards. If you're a coach, demand something from them. If you're an older man with a young bloke somewhere in your life who doesn't have somebody showing them the way, then step up and teach them something. Be there for them. Give them responsibility. Correct him when he is wrong, and praise him, of course, when he gets it right. That's how these young'uns learn. Show them that respect is earned through competence, honesty, and responsibility. It's not earned through likes, not earned through stolen cars or bravado, because 5 boys dying at 3 o'clock in the morning isn't where this story began. It began years earlier with standards or lack of them, with role models, with adults around them. And somewhere along the way, something went very, very wrong. We cannot change what happened on the M9 motorway, but perhaps we can stop another boy taking that same road. That's our responsibility. Now, I'll see you next time. Oh, and that subscribe button. Hey, we're in this together, team. You take care of yourselves right now. Tim Davies, Fast Jet Performance.